Hi guys, this is Shelly Price, or I'm Shelly Price. This is my channel, and this is my review of the One Piece manga chapter 875, A Woman's Honor. And just to start off, I had mixed review. I feel like it was just a solid across the board chapter. Yeah, let's just kind of get into some of the stuff. So first things first is literally the chapter page, title page. And Bartolomeo has lost his mind. I understand because they have to go after all the Yonko, and he doesn't know, the Shanks Luffy relationship. But dude really was just oh, this is Shanks territory. What is a Yonko? I follow Straw Hat Luffy, so this means nothing. And I'm just like, what? You're losing your mind. You are literally crazy. But that was just on just right off the back, I'm like, oh, so that's what we're doing, Bartolomeo? Okay. So the chapter starts off, and you see Luffy or Chopper and Brook, and they're skating away, in the little submarine. And it's interesting because Chopper makes a comment that says, oh, there's a mermaid. And they're like, oh, what's he doing? Is he fishing? So I'm curious because at the end of the chapter, we see they've made it to the ship. And they're they see Pedro Speto, who's essentially I'm gonna let you guys if you two want to just go off in a little submarine, that's fine. We'll let you live. And I love because if you see one of the panels, it's really, I think it's kind of subtle, but it's just they you see Chopper looking down on Brook. Oops, that's not what I wanted. You just see them kind of looking down at each other no. And they're like, this is Sunny. Get off of Sunny. And I love how Brook's like, I refuse. We're going to fight you. This is our ship. We don't care what you think happened on the island. We're not about to just run away with our knees tucked between our head tucked between our knees. But I think it's interesting because they say it looked like a mermaid was fishing. I'm curious if they're going to try and rig up one of the if they're going to use a Sea King or something to try and help them get in between Katakuri and Pedro Speto and their dudes, if there's going to be some kind of Sea King action going on to kind of help them get away. I feel like that's what's happening because I thought all of the mermen had already left. They might have just left their where they were stationed on Big Mom's Island, and this is them helping the guys get away or whatnot. But I'm curious. I'm definitely going to see some more merman stuff in the next episode or next chapter. So essentially you see, where is this? Okay. So after we deal with Brook and them, you see Big Mom's still chasing after them, obviously. And they're kind of just explaining what the hunger pains are. And I love, they're like, oh yeah, that cake was delicious. They just grabbed them on their way down. And it's interesting because at one point, Luffy tries to fight Prometheus, and his haki isn't doing anything to it, and Jinbei eventually goes and he uses the water from the river and shoots it at him, and it's he's a flaming ball. It's it's not you can't fight him with haki. You're just he's an element. You're literally fighting him with water. Which I thought was kind of interesting. And I like how they're we cannot separate, we cannot fight, we have to get out, we have to stick together and we get out. And of course, this little, Zeus is just going along and, just getting all his the weather eggs. Out of nowhere, he just whoop, he just puts his whole mouth on it and grabs, Nami's, climate attack and just sucks all the balls out of it. And it's just this giant thundercloud. She says he takes them all. And look at Nami, always coming in at the clutch. And of course, giving tips to Usopp because he built it, or he adjusted it, made it better. And essentially creates a ginormous thundercloud, a ginormous lightning strike, which, as I said earlier, reminds me of Enel and Skypiea. When the first time you see the giant pile of lightning just strike down. And of course, Mama's not down, but I think she's held off for a bit, and can't imagine she's impervious to everything. But and then eventually you see them fighting off, and they keep running, and then at the end we see Chiffon she's with Lola, and they're flying over there, and essentially you see at the flashback with Bez, where she's like talk is just cheap. Like, they saved my sister, my twin sister's life. I am going to fight, and I'm going to help them, and I'm going to bake this cake. And I'm like, this is my honor. Like, and I love that. I love how it's, you know, it's actions that matter. And I'm really curious because I can't tell by her facial expression. Like, so Sanji, that fool's right there, and she has heart. There's a heart driven by it, but I don't like, because partially she looks crazy, and I feel like she's trying to help him. Like, she's here, she wants to help him. She wants to give back to him because he looked at her and he said, "Your three eyes, you're so beautiful." But she also looked kind of crazy. I'm just saying, she looked kind of crazy. But I'm interested to see, and even like, because in the text it says that, but even right above her, you see like the hearts. So I'm interested to see what the official translation, since this is a scanlation and you do get translations, what the official one says about her. And just in general, I like reading them. I like knowing like what they really said, and not was like misunderstood and stuff like that. But yeah, I think just like a solid across the board chapter. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. I give this like a 3 out of 5, you know, like a B. Solid, not bad, not like, oh my gosh. I mean, I think like you have like actions where you have some like cool action scenes, but yeah, solid across the board, like I said. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about the chapter. What do you think is going to happen next? I'm really interested because, so it looks like we know they can't take on Katakuri. They just can't. Perospero, yes, I think that's a possibility. And they're close, so we will see what happens. But the thing is, because Katakuri, he can like see into the future or something like that. He sees like stuff, but everything's changing, so it's not always clear. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight Luffy for sure. And then it's like, how's this gonna? It's just, there's a lot of stuff we don't know. Only Oda knows. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think is gonna happen, because we can always guess. But again, I'm Shelly Perez. This is my review of One Piece Chapter 875, A Woman's Honor. And I will see you guys next week. Alright, thanks.